We've seen a lot of images ever since we grew up, you know, ever since we were children. We've seen a lot of images of ourselves and our parents. And there are a few movies I recall, like, you know, that always stuck out in my head, like Native Son, Charleston Blue, you know what I mean? Cooley High. There's movies like, and then there were movies that were supposed to emulate my culture, like Breaking and B Street and stuff like that, that represented it to an extent, but to an extent they kind of just put it where everybody could understand it, so it wasn't as deep as it could have been. And you know, we've all went through all those type movies. But Misty, tell them about this movie that you like, and tell them what you didn't like about it.
One of the images that I liked back in the day or whatnot is a movie called MMA, and it was like a lot of stereotypes, but at the end, the woman showed that, you know, the man is not dominating like, you know, like a pimp man up in the 70s and everything. And it's just a stereotype of a woman coming from the South and coming to the city and having a pimp, you know, in every city in the North. And then another one is The Last Dragon. I know everybody know that, but that was like, I like that movie. I don't know about y'all.
Well, I think that some of the problems, like with older movies, and I'm talking like 70s, is that, like, for instance, like Superfly and stuff like that, you know, okay, you have these pimp movies or whatever, but it seems like people now are trying to bring that back as if it's just the cool thing, it's okay. But I still disagree with it, because it's like, in the 70s, that's like one of the most strongest points, where you have black people trying to come together and, you know, and here you have the first, you know, not the first images, but some of the, now you're coming more familiar with seeing black faces on TV, but yet here it is, all this, I'm a pimp Mac Daddy. Well, what's up with that, you know? It's like you had the people in their movement, you know what I'm saying, at their point where they're trying to become of themselves, you know, but yet here you have these stereotypes of pimps. What's up with that? And the black women being mistreated, no. On screen, I disagree. You know, I just cannot say, okay, yeah, that's cool. Oh, I love, you know, Superfly, his platform, whatever. He may have had the gear, but that's not the bomb movie. I'm sorry.
You can bring it to today with, nowadays they got the gangster movies. I mean, it's the same thing, you know. Women are still being misrepresented. We're still the hoes, whatever, being pimped by whoever, instead of the pimp or whatever, you know, the gangster, you know, drug dealer. I mean, they're all negative images. Where are the positive images of ourselves in film? We got Spike, we got Matty Rich, we got Julie Dash, you know. But I still think we're lacking in some of the more, you know, potent images of ourselves.
Exactly. It's like we're regressing. It's like we've got all this power, because if you look at it, everything in today, every commercial, every movie, everything is aimed at the African American youth, because once we embrace something, then other cultures and other age groups will soon embrace it too. Because if you notice, every style, every fad that we ever had is soon embraced and taken on by the next culture and the next group of people, and then we drop it and move on. And so much is aimed at us, and yet we're setting low standards. You know, with as much power as we have, as much capital as people are making off of us, we can easily say, we don't want to watch these movies. We want to see more Cooley Highs and, you know, stuff of that nature, or something, if it's going to be laid back like Car Wash, where not everybody is pimping and hoeing and doing all this, you know, slanging this or doing whatever. It could be, we can take whatever we want, and all we have to do is demand it, but people don't see that. Instead, we're regressing, being like, oh yeah, let's all be pimps and hoes, and, you know, let's all go back and enjoy the 60s and all this, when we don't have to take that anymore, because we have the power. It's just ours to grasp.
I think that the reason those type of images are being misportrayed, what I mean by misportrayed is that when you just to even say the fact, be a pimp, be a gangster, those are not things that you be. That's like saying, you know what I'm saying? That's like saying be a police officer or something like that. You gotta play that role, you know what I mean? It's not no thing that you can just get in and get out of. You know, these people, these were hustles, you know what I mean? Just like nowadays, they call gangsters, you know, gangsters are supposed to be the lowest form of men, you know what I mean? They're supposed to be the savages in our community. But these are hustles. We can't deny the fact that they weren't educated properly. But at the same time, they used the little knowledge that they had to get what they got. And pimps, you know, with as far as the physical goes, you know, with the long stretch Cadillacs and L-Dogs and platform shoes and polyester gear and all that, you know, they took what they had and tried to make it better. It was like the clothes weren't that expensive, but they were sharp. It was all about the image. It was all about making yourself be comfortable. You know, they wanted to get that physical wealth. But at the same time, they didn't have the mental wealth to achieve what they really could have got, you know what I mean? So when people put it on television, they put it on television like it is a game, and it's not a game, it's reality. That's why the people that are from the hood or around the way, we really enjoy those movies, even if we don't agree with them. We know people like that, you know what I mean? Like Menace to Society, you know what I mean? We could identify what happened to my man, but we would have did some things differently. So it's like they're our peers, but at the same time, they just chose a different route than we chose, you know?
Well, we can't deny the fact that we're still being exploited, even if
I don't feel like we're being exploited because they're doing their own individual tasks. They're trying to survive. It's not like pimps. It's not like you fill out an application to be a pimp or a gangster or sell drugs. That's just something you have to do. It's not no game. That's the hardest job in this whole world is to hustle because you're coming from scratch. You're coming straight from your deepest instincts to get ends and to survive. It has nothing to do with no degrees or nothing like that.
I mean, we're being exploited by the filmmakers, and when it goes to the movie theaters and people buying the tickets and people are supporting this, then you know, I mean, isn't that our culture being on television being represented? If I disagree with that,
they can't represent our culture. All they can do is give their opinion to me. You know, that's all they can do.
First time I heard Straight Outta Compton. It was the first rap thing I ever heard. I was in Los Angeles. This thing all of a sudden came out. Boom. I'm not talking back to the Sugar Hill. I'm just the thing. The gangster rap went bang like that. That was deep. After that was over, I didn't want to hear no more of it. Now I got to listen to Too Short and Ice something or other. You know, all these brothers running around talking about how they run around and shoot everybody. H-Town, the Ghetto Boys, all this other stuff. You know, they originally called it
hardcore.
Well, hardcore, but they called it street reporting from the streets. This is what's going on in the streets. Okay, so it's going on in Los Angeles, it's going on in New York, it's going on in Houston, Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's going on all over the place. We all understand that. Okay? Now what?
Okay, the thing is this. These people are just basically talking about the things that they see in their everyday life. Have you ever been to South Central Los Angeles?
Yes.
Have you ever got on the streets and sold crack?
Have I?
Yeah, in
No.
South, see, you will never know what they're talking about. So I'm saying they're trying to bring you, you know what I'm saying, a visual picture of what they see every day. You know what I'm saying? And since it's too much reality at one time because we were so conditioned to the lies and the truths of society, you know what I'm saying, it's just too much reality at one time. It's too much for your mental. Your mind can't take it. This is why people see it as such.
Okay, that's all well and good, but see now the deal about the crack, all right? Now I don't think that crack is good for our society.
It's not.
You know?
It's
I would
not.
never be. Of course it's there. I want to get rid of it. Because it goes back into a history thing. You guys were talking about the 70s before and these dealers and Superfly. They glorified the dealers. They glorified the abusers of women, the pimps. It's a glorified thing. If you can continue to glorify it, it's a negative thing in your society. How are you going to get rid of it?
These are the same rappers who are talking about the life that they once lived. They don't live that life now. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking about what they used to do. And people can see them and be like, okay, only thing they're doing is taking their expressions and their thoughts and putting it in a song version.
When I step through the, you know, some of these fools are so deceptive, using my styles like a contraceptive. I hope you get burnt. Seems you haven't learned. It's the knick-knack, paddywhack. I still got the biggest sack. So put your gun away, run away, cause I'm back. Hit 'em up, get 'em up, split 'em up now. Tell me what's going on. It make me wanna holler cause my dollars come in ozones. Known for the break off, shake off. Now take off your clothes and quit trying to spit at my. Speaking of, I get to the point. You think you got the bomb cause I wrote you a joint? Use a flea. And I'm the big dog. I scratch you off with my paws. Alls, y'alls, busters better recognize and see where I'm coming from. It's still east side till I die. Why ask? Why? As the world keeps spinning to the D-O-double-G. Why?
It's a doggy-dog world. It's a doggy-dog world.
Hey, Well, if you show me 10 things, I run up in all 10. Seen the homie Snoop Dogg sipping juice and gin. Don't slip, I'm full of set trip to get paper. Styles vary, packing flavor like lifesavers. Ain't that something? You keep talking and I'm dumping. I had a full whole block thumping. Don't sweat, but check the technique. I'm unique like China. You never find a bomber ramen in this dog behind you. So peekaboo, clear the way. I'm coming through. 1, 2, 3. You can't see me. I'm a G like that. Strapped with hit hard tactics. I'm menace, and I'm using them like tennis rackets. It's on again. It's on and popping. All I see is green, so there ain't no stopping. I wanna see some panties dropping. I'm coming from LA. She used to chill with Dre up in Compton.
The Dog Pound rocks the party till it don't stop, it don't quit. The Dog Pound click, the drop the cabbie no. Diggity dash back up in you out of the cut once more. So grab a seat and grab your gin and juice and check out the flow. I flip flop and serve those who ain't up on it till I die. I'm still screaming. I never loved that trick. Now I'm the Mac Daddy, Hattie, not known about the city where I'm from. Dumb diddy dumb as your group till the gangster hits. The D-O double G, the P-O-U-N-D, the gangster click. Now as the pound break it down with the gangster folk. I can see and I can tell that's all you want. So I blaze up the so we can get her. I promise we smoke till the day that we die. It's a dog, it's a dog, it's a dog. It's a doggy dog world. Just cool. It's a doggy dog. What you gonna do? You got the key. Yeah. It's a dog. It's your world. It's a dog.
We just saw a video by Snoop Dogg.